This is the Boom Podcast. The podcast that shows you how to build an amazing business so you can build an amazing life. The Boom Podcast starts now.
Welcome to the big show, everybody. What a big start. What a fun start we just had.
Hi, friends.
Welcome back. Season 4. Good things happening.
Yep.
Life is good.
If you were going to make up a word, what word would you make up?
Well, I don't know. I haven't made it up yet. Oh, boy.
Deep thoughts.
Do you have a sample word?
Dinker.
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 What is a dinker?
Well, a dinker is
Will you define your
it's
made-up word?
A toy for babies.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
New from Hasbro.
Yeah. the latest in dinker.
It's when you have
Technology.
They really come a long way with the dinker technology.
You know what a dinker is?
Is it something?
It's already a thing.
It's hard to
Every
make up
time
an
I
actual
come
I'm
up with
word.
I'm surprised you guys didn't know it, because here's what it is. It's
Okay.
a shot in lacrosse that hits the edge of the goal before going in, making a satisfying noise.
How appropriate.
well, that's
Dinker.
true. I should have known that.
It's a dinker.
Sounds right.
Well,
I should
I would
research that.
think hockey, lacrosse would not be the first thing I would think.
Yeah.
You have one that hits the post and still goes in.
That's a dinker.
Would be a
That's a
dinker.
dinker.
Maybe it's a clinker.
Maybe it is a clinker.
I feel like that's
Yeah.
a jail thing. Like, put them in the
The
clinker.
clink. Yeah, no, that's
That's
clink.
Put them in the
The
clink.
clank?
Yeah,
The
clink.
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 Put it in the clink?
Yeah, put them in the clink.
Which I assume has got to be like the
Okay.
jail cell closing, and that's the clink, right?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. I wish we named everything after the sound
I
it makes.
just looked up clinker, and we can't talk about that on the air. I'll tell you guys later what that is.
Edited.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about that later. Okay, welcome to the big show, everybody. We are excited to
So
have
good.
you. We do want to hear from you. Email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. I am Terry. To my right is Megan. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
To my left is Todd. Hi, Todd.
I'm a real dinker.
Producer Christian across the table. What's going on, big buddy?
I am doing great.
Good to hear it. Don't you hate when somebody asks you a question and you answer with a response that doesn't answer their question? Like, how's it going? Not much, that kind
Not
of thing.
much.
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah.
Producer Christian just did that
It's
to
the
me.
worst when
Yeah.
you. It's the worst when you like end a conversation. like,
And you're way off.
Yeah.
You're
I
like,
forget
people
what
are
it
like,
is.
happy birthday, and you're like, you too.
Yeah, you
What?
too.
Yes,
What?
the you too.
But because it's the end of the conversation,
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
like-
rectify it. You're like, oh.
I meant to say, hey. Yeah, that's awful. I do that at the movies all the time. Enjoy the show, you too. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're going to
Sorry,
stand
you're gonna-
here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You're not
man.
going to the show.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so welcome to the big show. It's funny that we talk about this bad communication, because this episode is about
It is.
communication from anywhere and what a key it is.
It's really
so we roll along with the virtual nature of season 4. Could we have the season 4 one time to get us in the right frame of mind?
Season 4, it's the Boom Podcast. Season 4.
That is so beautiful.
So
that
refreshing to hear it.
I need to turn my headphones up just for that, because
Don't want to miss it.
I like to crank that song. You know what I
I
mean?
want to get a little of that in your ear.
I have been listening to that jingle when I've been working out,
Just
Oh.
over and over.
just to get
on
myself
repeat.
fired up. Yeah, it's a 4-second jingle, but I dial it up.
I switch up. I go between that and I have the tiger, like just back
Yeah,
and forth.
right.
back
That's
and forth.
good, yeah.
It works out well.
For max
Feel like-
day, when you're maxing out, like hit me with the season 4 jingle. I'm maxing out today.
Dump, dump, dump.
That's it. That's it.
You guys are real weird.
So we want to be equipping you right now for how to work from home. If you're listening to it anytime, basically in 2020, it's probably appropriate with the COVID quarantine.
Yeah.
But even if it's
Yes.
2021, 2022, 2020, whatever, there's a lot of people that are going to be working from home, maybe even for the first time.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for a while. So we want to help you maximize what's going on. That's what season 4 is all about.
Yep.
And today, communication.
Yes, it is. We're going to be talking about communication as a virtual agent. You're going to hear some of this in reference to just being an agent, being a brokerage in general, whether you're virtual or not. Obviously, communication is key. But one of the things that you're going to find is when you are virtual, when you're not out and about as much, you can supplement some of that with communication. And you can find that your agents feel just as much, or your clients feel just as much as the love. And your agents, if you're a brokerage or a team, feel the love as well, as long as relationships, you have that communication. But as soon as the communication goes away, that's when the
Yep.
heart grows weaker.
Fonder.
Yonder.
What's the opposite of fonder?
Yonder.
Yonder.
Dinker.
Dink.
Distant. What's that called? Distance makes the heart grow.
Absence.
Absence
Yes.
makes heart grow. Yonder.
Absence.
It's supposed to be fonder, but it's yonder.
Is that going to be your word?
Yonder?
Yeah, Terry, look up yonder. See if yonder's a word.
Let me check on that
Sure,
real quick.
it's not.
I'm gonna bing it. I'm gonna bing it.
I don't have to be. Oh, there it is.
So good.
Oh, it already means something.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
Yonder. There's even a movie called Yonder: The Cloudcatcher Chronicles.
Well, yonder
Oh, it's a
means
video
like
game,
far
never mind.
away. So a southern
Yonder.
term. Yonder?
Yonder.
Yeah,
Like over there.
Over
yeah,
yonder.
way over
Over yonder.
yonder.
Way over yonder.
Oh,
that's a
see
word.
how they all come back to you?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You guys really didn't know the word yonder?
I
thought,
did.
like,
It
this
didn't-
whole time, the last 60 seconds, I thought we were joking around.
Oh,
like,
no, it
definitely
just-
we know. It's like saying, oh, book. Let's see if that's a word. And I thought we were, like, joking, all
Yeah.
deadpan, but you guys really didn't know the word
No, I
yonder?
knew it was yonder from that saying, but
Oh,
but
no, I spaced
Todd-
it. It didn't register right away.
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yep.
That's
Sorry.
fine. It's early.
What does
You've
register
only
mean?
had one.
Is that a word? Look up register.
Look up register.
I don't know if you're joking or not. Now I don't know if you're joking or not. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, so let me give you a lay of the land of where we're headed in this episode. First of all, we're going to talk about communication as an agent, and then out yonder in this episode, we're going to be talking about communication as a brokerage, and then we're going to wrap it up with a lightning round of ninja tips.
Love it.
So, producer Christian, we're going to need the lightning
Lightning
round.
round?
Not only a sounder, but we need like the music bed that drives us and keeps us moving.
Okay.
Keeps it firing and humming
Yes.
along.
Okay.
If you could get real lightning in here as well, that
Yes.
would help.
Real
Christian.
lightning.
Real lightning.
Okay.
Just see what you
Christian,
can
I'm giving you upwards of 15 minutes to pull together some audio magic.
Kelsey!
For a producer like you, that should be no problem. All right, so let's dive in, Megan. Let's talk about communication as an agent.
Yes, agent style. Okay, so Todd already talked about all the things you need to know. Communication's obviously key no matter what when you're virtual, but when you're dealing with clients, I think this is the number one question or objection that people ask us is how can you be so virtual and still give good client care and customer service, and how do you not lose them? But it's so doable. It's a secret, but it's totally doable.
Secret.
I actually saw a big forum the other day on one of the agent Facebook pages, and there were so many people that were like, "Yeah, you can totally do this. You just have to set it up and know what you're doing and have a plan." So we are going to give you the plan as an agent to do as much as you can virtually, but knowing that, yes, occasionally you need to see your clients to show a home or, unless you have assistants to do those things as well. So here's some fun keys that you can rock being a great agent, having all the communication that you need with your clients. So first are meetings. Okay, you can do live meetings. You have to do those every once in a while. But then virtual meetings, GoToMeeting, Zoom, FaceTime, using Messenger, all of those things are super easy to do. So when I do my first buyer's consultation to start the ball rolling, it's a soon I can get with them very quickly to seal the deal and do a Zoom real quick or a FaceTime. I'll say, hey, I'm going to call you. How about an hour? We'll do a buyer's consultation. I email them all the stuff they need to be looking through at the same time, or I share my screen, and it's amazing. It's easy.
So is this a new thing, like how you're approaching it in your business to be like the first consultation? Like, have you done that for a long time, or is this a
No.
more recent development because of all the quarantine life, right?
I would say before quarantine life, it was definitely, I'd send video texts or little things that we're going to talk about, but it was always a phone call. Somebody gives you a referral, you give them a call.
Yep.
But if you see them face to face from the beginning,
Yeah.
it's like you've bonded.
Yeah.
What is it when you're an Avatar? Remember the movie Avatar?
Yes.
And
Oh,
they
they tie the
link their
tail.
tails together,
yes.
and it's like,
Yes.
or in Twilight, because I know you guys have seen Twilight, right?
Yeah, that would have been a better
The
reference
werewolves, like...
How the
Never saw
werewolves, they
It's a real dinker.
connect their
don't know what
their
you guys
elbows
are-
to each other, and then they glow, and you're like, what? And you're like, yes, this is teen fiction.
That's right.
This is what happens.
The
happens
vampires
with
chew
vampires.
on each other's neck at
They-
the same time.
Obviously.
Oh,
that-
the double neck
It's
chew.
the double neck chew.
Yeah.
Chew?
Yes.
They chew?
They're vampires, Christian. What do you think?
ruining Twilight for me right now. My kitty fiction. Yeah, they imprint. They imprint on
Imprint.
on the other one, and you only imprint once on the other on one, and that's
right.
like your mate. Whatever. Okay.
Wait, is this Avatar now? I can't
no,
remember.
we went back. I went.
No,
I,
they-
I was
I think
sticking
they
in
put their tails
Twilight.
together
Twilight.
on Twilight.
They put their tails together
Yeah.
on Twilight.
All right, I'm
They
going
chew on
to
each other's necks in Avatar.
Okay.
Basically, if you
Okay.
FaceTime or Zoom your referrals first, you are definitely doing all of these things we just said. So do that.
That's good. That's true. That's true.
I think about it like this though. When you,
I'm only
those
lightly
meetings-
listening. I'm not quite.
Just engage
At this
every
point,
once
I'm
in a while.
lost.
he is not imprinted on our podcast. I was just thinking about like if you think like we always stress with our agents like go meet people. That's how you're gonna set the hook. That's how you're gonna get them to choose you and use you versus other agents. But it was always like, all right, well, it's going to take me 30 minutes to drive there. I want to get there early. Then it's
Right.
going to take an hour or so, and then I got to drive back. And so it's harder to fit those in your schedule. Whereas if you're like, hey, let's jump on a Zoom call, I can squeeze that in pretty much any time throughout
Yep.
the day at this point.
Yeah.
And now you can make things happen. And it's easier to jump to that, and it still will let them imprint on you.
Yes, very good. And there's no lull in time before your appointment that they could meet somebody else
Yeah,
or vet
that's
somebody
true.
else. You've started right
Strike
away.
while the iron is hot.
Yes.
Well, and that's true too, because a lot of times when somebody finally does reach out and contact you, you want to kind of set the hook as
Yes.
quick as you can,
Yep.
right? Because people cool to it, or they're less excited later,
Yep.
and they're less motivated. So when they actually are reaching out, if you can get them rolling quick, then
good.
that's a good move. Yeah.
So good. And it's easy. And I think people think I'm losing a contact, but you're not. Your initial contact is better than it was before, and you're starting it, and then you will meet live and you'll show homes and you'll do all the things. So the second is, so you're doing your meetings, you're doing quickly and virtually if you can, and then you're doing a lot of emails touching. Okay, so just communication, there's all these forms that we're going to talk about, but it's that you're doing all of them and you're doing them well and consistently. Yeah. Communication, just there can't be the number one reason that people leave their agent is because there was a lack of communication. They felt like they weren't being taken care of. They didn't know what they were doing throughout the process. So you have to over communicate. So emails, and that's as easy as having templates. We have templates for all the things. It's inspection time. It's offer time. Hey, it's closing time. Here's all these things. Here's the appraisal. And it's a template that we've saved in our email inbox, and we send that throughout the process that has all the details. You don't have to keep rewriting it, but they know what's going on all the time because you have informed them, because you are the resource. And then just checking in every once in a while. I'll just think, I haven't talked to them in a few days. Hey, how's it going? How's little Johnny? Are you super pumped? What color are you going to paint the living room? You know, stuff like that. Keep them engaged with you all the time. And then add a video to that if you can sometimes. Just throw something in there of you and your face again, because there's a big lull between showing homes or listing a home and closing. So make sure you throw some videos in. Videos.
I want to stress that, by the way, that is something that we've found when we're living more virtually, is that if you are using like a bomb, a co-video, or even just your simple video text messages, those little changes in your communication mean a whole lot to the clients when they see your face. And it really does make them feel a lot closer to you if they get that face-to-face time, whether it's in person or not.
Yes. And we're going to talk about video next. That's our next little bullet point.
Sorry,
but I will challenge. No, I love it. I will challenge you guys to talk about. Do you feel like the big thing that there's like old school, new school? I shouldn't, lump everybody in there, but it's like there is this. You have to do this. You have to be with them all the time. You have to do this. But then there's this. Think of the other side of the spectrum, which is people are literally buying houses online through virtual systems with no agent. So you've got this. I'm with you all the time. Or I'm just going to go online and figure it out myself, like Carvana. I'll just go online and get it out of a machine. This is happening.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. And so if you can find this hybrid model, which is what we're talking about, is with, yes, you're going to care for your people. You are not a computer. You're not an algorithm. But you are with them and touching base, and they feel cared for. We have to, what is it? What's Darwinism? What do you, evolve.
Yeah.
We have to... First word. You have to evolve.
Let me see if that's a word. Hold on a second. You might have just made something up here. That's
You know
great.
what word
I'm
is
onto
now
something.
a word, apparently, according to Webster or Merriam or
One of them, dictionary.com.
Webster Merriam?
Is it ginormous?
It is not.
It
that
is.
might be, though.
It is, yeah, I know it is, yeah.
It's correct. Everybody says it wrong, and so they made it a word.
Did you forget the word?
Paschetti?
It starts with ear.
Irresponsible.
Irregardless.
Yes.
Oh.
Irregardless. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's irregardless. Yeah, because people say them interchangeably.
Yes. And so they made it a word. They're like, you know what? If everybody's going to get it wrong.
Let's make it official.
just make
Let's
it
make
up.
them right.
Right.
Is that what they really did?
Even the dictionary is trying to evolve and stay with the times
right,
and be
stay with
like,
the times.
all you dum-dums can't get it right. Fine, we'll just change the system.
We'll do this for you. That's
funny.
great. Well, bottom line is we don't want you to lose out on the clients that want to see you a lot. We don't want you to lose out on the clients that don't want to see you a lot, to be
That's
honest.
all my clients.
They're like, okay, dude, just stay in your lane.
Just stay out of it.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna be able to make everybody happy by having systems like this. So video, like Todd said before, bomb, just using your phone. If you are just sitting in your office and you're getting ready to call a client, wait a second, make a little video of what you want to say and send that to them real quick. And I'm not saying don't do all of the things, but that's an important thing, that they see your face, and this is how we do it. So,
Can I tell you a quick story about
Yes.
this? I had a client, and just the power of video. This is this thing, right? So I was sending videos to all of my level ones,
Okay.
as just my monthly touch, and just
Great
checking
idea.
in with people. And I was doing them individually. So I had a client of mine who's a real nice guy. We haven't talked in a while, other than these touches, right? No client events, all that stuff. So I sent him a video just to check in, say hey, and all that. He sends me a video back.
Okay.
We start sending videos back and forth to each other and just talking about life, which is pretty cool. And he goes, hey, I figured, I saw this video and I was like, oh, this is just a big video, mass video sent to everybody. And he said, but I clicked on play and then you said my name. I was like, oh, this actually is just a video for me, which is really cool. And he's like, which meant a lot, and I'm so inspired that I've started, like, once a day I'll shoot a video and send it to somebody randomly in my world that I haven't talked to in a little bit, and like and he's been doing it now. I'm like, that's
cool.
crazy. So video means a lot to people, even though it takes 30 seconds, you know.
Right.
But it's a great touch, and obviously, like, he and I now have this every couple of days. We send each other like a 2-minute video to say hi and check in. We have this like video pen pal relationship.
awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I love that.
we can't stress the video thing enough.
I just made a note to
pretty
video
cool.
my level ones, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because
It's a
that's
good move.
really-
It's a good
Well, I
touch.
think
Just a
especially
touch
in
randomly.
these times,
Random.
like where we're more quarantined or self-isolated and whatever, the people just need those personal touches, and like
Yeah.
video text can go a long way.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree. I love it. Okay, so make sure you're utilizing videos. That's to specifically touch people, not just big social media videos. We're talking about individual
Right.
videos to people.
Right.
And then phone calling. Now, the reason we're going through all this communication is just to realize two things. One, there's lots of ways you can do this. But two, number one. I just did a sub number.
I like it. That's good.
People like to be communicated with in different ways. If you sat for a second, you'd say, I prefer if somebody does this. And it might be text, it might be call, it might be a video, whatever it is. But just make sure that you are hitting all of these, because you'll start getting responses from people the way they like to communicate. So then
Right.
you know where they are, and you're hitting everybody and all the options. But there's no way they'll never say you're not communicating with them. So phone calls, there's something to be said. People like to hear your voice. They like to have that interaction sometimes. So phone calls, don't give that up. Events, we put that in our communication plan, because that's a different type of touch. It's a different way to get involved with them and make sure they see your name. And we've done things recently, like a trivia night for all our clients, and they hop on and you do an invite and do a Zoom and do a trivia night. It's really fun. A movie was the Netflix. You can do like a watch party, things like that you can do. Just be creative and find ways that you can have these relationships. And then you end up in the chat and you're communicating and talking. And then the last few, a CRM is important. We've probably talked the most about a CRM. If you look through all of our bajillion episodes, we talk about CRMs all the time.
Yeah.
And that is just your database, and utilizing that where all of your clients are in there, and then you have things preset. So when we say CRM, we mean have some preset stuff that's working when you're not. Have a newsletter that's going out and they see your name, or let's say they're a new buyer. Great, you should have a drip campaign that's touching them as well, so that communication is happening even when you're not initiating it.
Todd, how are sales of the Boom CRM doing?
They are through the roof.
Oh, good.
Get in fast.
Through the roof.
Get in
Awesome.
on the ground floor. Hurry, guys.
That product's been a real dinker for us. I was not optimistic, but it got in there. It made it.
And last thing, just make sure that you're conscious of your clients, and try to stay a couple steps ahead of what they might be thinking or needing, and do little things. Like last week we had somebody that had a really bad inspection and they were in the dumps. So we sent them a little little note and a gift, and just find a way to communicate with everybody when they need you, and whatever is going on, you are there for them. You're a step ahead, and it is just amazing.
Yep.
There's note cards and gifts and all that fun too. Get in there.
I'm worried about you. What's happening over there?
So we talked about clinker, and I said I can't tell you what it is, and I had only read the first 5 words of it, and then I read the rest of it, and I still can't tell you what it is.
This is so good.
Let's move along.
Everybody
Nice.
here is going to be
Right.
we're not going to say it, but we know you're all going to look it up at this point.
Right.
Oh,
Which is so good.
It's just okay. All right, Todd, brokerage. Let's go. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. So Megan kind of hit it from the angle of an agent, making sure that you have lots of communication with your clients. But we're going to talk also because there are going to be some teams and brokerages out there listening to this. And so we want to make sure that they are emphasizing some of the virtual things they need to make sure that they're doing. Because same thing, whether you're a traditional brokerage with brick and mortar and have virtual agents, or you're a full-on virtual company or team, you are going to have agents that don't come into the office, and you are going to have to communicate with them and make sure that they're feeling the love. So some of the ways that you can do that, one would be just general meetings, making sure that you still have live virtual options. If you're doing live options, are you recording them and putting them out so that people have the ability to see those when they're working virtually? And these can be large group. So say example would be a sales meeting. It'd be small trainings. These would be like your masterminds. We call them brain bashes, coaching sessions, which again can be bigger and smaller, whatever you want it to be. And then things like Megan already mentioned, fun events. You can do fun events as an agent with your clients, but a brokerage can do fun events with their agents so that they're making sure that they still have all the love. So trivia nights, social events, all that. All right, so that's one option is the meetings, but then also just ongoing communication. So if you're a manager or a team leader out there, your agents, you know this about your agents, they have to feel the love. We talk about our agents having 33 touches with their clients.
Right.
Well, managers, you need to have probably the same thing with your agents.
Yeah.
If they don't hear from you, they're going to feel disconnected. And guess what? There's another brokerage out there that's going to be communicating with them more than you, right?
Yep.
So make sure that you're doing a lot of ongoing communication. Things like weekly memo emails, just stuff about what's happening in the company. Here's some updates for you. Here's some changes in the laws, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But if you just get consistent with a weekly memo, it's a really easy thing to pull off. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but it just has to be something consistent. Individual emails, again, we would love more personal touches than an email, but even that is a great option. If you're just sitting around and you're like, I haven't talked to this agent for a while, shoot them an email, just checking in on you, see how you're doing, want to make sure everything's all right. Guess what, agents? That's the same thing you're doing with your clients. You're just checking in on them. Social media, and by the way, we're rushing through this side of it because we're probably going to have more agents listening than broker team leaders, but we're going to hit those up. Social media, follow them on social media. Make sure you're following and that you're loving them. And if you see a good post, then you're writing them a note like, hey, I saw that your daughter got engaged. Congratulations. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
And agents, this is all reflective back to you in your businesses with your clients.
Yeah.
Call, text, video messages. We've talked about that with the clients, so same thing applies to the agents. Make sure you're doing those. What about shareable cloud storage? Do you have ways to share files, whether it's your own company website and you've got a back end that they can log in to grab files, or if you're using like a Dropbox or a Google Drive, do you have some kind of cloud storage that you can say, hey, like for our brokerage, we basically tell them, like when they have questions, we have a ton of videos that we all have online that they can jump in and go to. And we've started with everything just on, we kind of subbed it out, say, through like a Google Drive or a Dropbox, but we're also building a website that you can have it all in the back end as well.
Right.
So you can get there. It just depends on what your budget is. Transaction management software, I use in Dotloop, DocuSign. By the way, that's essential to running a virtual business.
It is.
Like,
It is.
I have a client, and this actually happened last night. I was on the phone call with a client, and I doubt she's a listener. But we were talking. She just won't sign things electronically, and we've had some issues. In like,
She can't, or she just doesn't want to.
Won't. She thinks she just thinks she can't do it. So she has said, I only want to sign paper, things in person. So I have to drive the documents to her.
Right.
So we had a very things were getting a little rough, and she was like, I just want my kids to be on this call. So I'm like, that's fine. So the kids come on the call. We work it all out. And I'm like, all right, we got to sign it. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, literally, I'm putting my kids to bed. I can come over after that if you want. We have to get this signed.
Yeah.
or we can do this electronically.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's so simple. It's through your email. And she was like, well, I don't know. And the kids were just like, Mom, I will walk you through it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so she's like, okay, let's do it. And sure enough, like 30 minutes later, we had the
sometimes you just have to get through it.
Yep.
Well, and not only do you have to run your business with these like Dotloop and DocuSign and all that, because it's so easy for your clients, but for a brokerage, our admin can just send messages like, hey, this document is missing this, and hey, and that is a streamlined form of communication instead of an email or a phone call, and now your admin has to call 13 agents because their files weren't finished. No, you've got these online systems to communicate with, and you just say, hey, need this, add this, great job on that. So those are handy.
And I'm going to give you the biggest one of them all. So we've talked about, like, if you think about everything we're doing when you're working virtually, we're supplementing it all. We've got sales meetings that are virtual. We've got recorded training. So we've got coaching calls. We've got everything supplemented. But the one thing that we found from our experience is that agents miss that water cooler. They miss where they're just hanging out, and it's not always business related. They're just able to chat. And so some of that was going back to like having your fun events that you can do. But one of the biggest changes, a game changer for us, if you have not heard of this app yet, it is called Slack. And basically it is our water cooler for our brokerage. It allows people to jump on. We've got multiple channels, so you can do trainings, communications, things that are all business related, but then we've got other ones as well that you can get off topic and you can have some fun. And I tell you what, like the way that people interact on that and the connections that they have just from Slack conversations has changed the face of our brokerage. So that was the best. And and we're using the free version.
Right. Really. I mean,
no cost.
That's probably one of the biggest things that have kept us in touch. And there's been not even a bit of a lag from going away from an office, because and I will say a little ninja tip on this, some people have said, hey, why don't you have a Facebook group for the brokerage? Right. But the problem is you get on Facebook and then they fall into social media, and then you're there for 3 hours. This is just a separate app. You don't have 9,000 emails. There's everything there. It is a really cool tool to keep everybody together and communicate.
Well, if you're running a brokerage, the biggest advantage to Slack is that the stuff that goes in Slack stays there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas if it's buried in someone's email, two people going
It's
back and forth, you may
searchable.
never be privy to that conversation, but it's searchable. So if you have, for instance, people who are contributing best tips for showing a home or something, it's not buried in some email in some inbox.
Yes.
It's out there in
or try searching a Facebook group for something like
Right,
that.
you can't
Facebook
find it.
search is terrible.
Never
So
goes.
it's
so
tough.
hard.
Yeah.
And all you're running a brokerage, like Christian said, all those trainings are there. It's what a heck of a resource for people to just go
training
in.
channel or new agent channel.
They're teaching each other. Things are happening. It's just
Good
it's
things.
really cool. Get
it's
it.
a nice, it's
Do it
definitely
today.
like the virtual office of our brokerage for sure. Okay, let's dive into the ninja tips. Producer Christian, are you ready on the sound or ready on the music?
I am.
Did you get the lightning?
Go.
Okay, all right. So here we go. Ninja tips. Todd and Megan back and forth. Who's going to do the first one? Let's
I'll go.
All right,
go.
ready? Go.
Do it often. Lots and lots of communication can never be enough. Clients and agents need it to be happy where they are. Do it all the time.
Nice.
Number 2, be available. So make sure that you are available to your agents, to your clients, whatever the case is. I will tell you that we have talked about this plenty of times before. We live a proactive lifestyle. We do not live in a reactive lifestyle. We tell our clients, we tell our agents that we rarely answer the phone. We even go to the extreme, like Terry goes to the extreme, of never answering his phone. It goes, do not disturb, straight to it. But if you tell them up front that this is what I do, and if you need to get a hold of me, shoot me a text and say, hey, I need to talk to you soon. They will do it, they will understand, and they won't care.
I can affirm that. No one answers my calls.
There it
no one at
is.
this table.
And we don't return the calls either.
Will not return my calls.
That's not true.
But be
We love
available.
Yes.
you. All right, next lightning tip. Ninja tip.
Todd already said it, but set expectations and boundaries with being available. It is all about just setting the expectation. Like he said, I'm available. We are available all the time. We will drop things for our agents. We love them so much, and our clients, but there are expectations and boundaries, just like the doctor's office, the dentist's office, any other professional that you will call. Boom.
I'm halting this lightning round mid-lightning round. Wow.
Whoa.
Unprecedented move.
Earth-shattering news is coming.
You can't stop lightning.
Christian, nice job on the hard cut of the sound. sounder, too. You know I love a good hard cut. All right, so we almost missed it.
Was it during?
Oh no, what happened?
Well, I really have blown it because it's my responsibility to find a time and interject when it's time for Todd's silly segment.
right.
And I almost blew it, and we have a sounder. Christian, go!
Boy.
Get on the train for Todd's silly segment.
Oh, you pulled the... Is that
it.
how you do that in a train?
Yeah,
I know you pull it this
Yeah,
way.
I think so.
I bet one of the most disappointing things. Yeah, I bet that's one of the most disappointing things for like train conductors now, because it's probably all electronic.
It's just
and
a
they
button.
like hit the button.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not like it used to be.
Even truck drivers, like they even probably are now. Like,
Yeah, do they still have... Do truck drivers still have the
I
pull
think
down
so.
horn?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't know.
I like that.
I heard a morning show. I was listening to a morning show today, and the truck driver called in, and he was making fun of what they called wheel holders, which are newer truck drivers that keep their hands on the wheel.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
He's like the seasoned
No,
truck drivers.
stop it.
They're CB radio. They're shifting gears. They're not holding the
Oh,
wheel.
wheel holders. You mean
The
the
wheel
ones that
holders.
are driving appropriately?
Yeah, the ones driving
They wedged a broomstick on the wheel to hold it or something. That's weird. All right, so Todd, let's get to it.
Yes.
Your silly segment. Let's
So
have
our
it.
segment is called "Aren't You Glad You're Not a?" Where we highlight different professions that we find stories of the madness that has ensued in their professions. High praise and respect for all these professions, but this just makes us feel better about being realtors. So, aren't you glad you're not a EMT?
Oh, yes.
Which
I already know
is,
that.
What's that stand for?
Emergency
Medical technician?
There you go. There you go.
Let's
For some
assume.
reason, I was about to start with electronic, and I was like, I know that's not it. Let's go with somebody else.
yeah.
Real dinger.
All right, EMT, a dinker.
Dinker,
Come,
sorry.
Please.
Dinger. Can you
Respect.
look up Dinger?
All right,
Dinger's
so
a
here's
home
a
run.
story I found from an EMT. And again, we're not trying to go too gross with these things.
Uh-oh.
So,
Once again, we're leaving the taste up to Todd.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
We're
yes.
like,
The line.
I'm sure he'll.
Todd's taste.
There's no one that you're running this past at all. It
Nope.
just goes
No.
straight to air.
No
so
filter.
let's have it.
All right, here's the story from a gentleman or a lady, I don't know. We received a call of a person suffering from a heart attack. By the time that we arrived, it was obvious the man was dead. End of story.
That's
just kidding,
hilarious.
just kidding.
All right.
However, I was given the task of giving this man CPR
Oh, no.
just in case.
Yeah.
As I was leaning over and pumping the man's chest, rigor apparently was setting in as his arm flew straight upwards and punched me right in the face, breaking my glasses and everything.
Oh, no.
Wow.
So, have you guys ever been punched by a dead man?
I have not.
No.
Like
I don't
goals.
think I have.
See,
I don't
aren't you
think I
glad
have.
you're not an EMT and you're a realtor?
Man.
Yeah.
All right, let's close up the
Yeah.
shop
Oh,
on
sorry.
that. That's enough. All right, let's wrap it
Get
up
on the
there.
train for Todd's silly segment.
And we're going right back into the lightning round. Christian, fire the
Okay, there we
sounder
go.
again.
All right.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, where do we
All
leave
right,
off?
We are
Todd.
number 4. You want to pre-create and pre-send. This is what Megan referenced earlier. You want all these things. You got all these templates, these things that you say all the time in your business. Pre-create them. Have them all set up. Videos. You don't have to personalize the video. Like, hey, congratulations on your sale. Here's the next step. Make it a video. Send it. You might want to update that every year or so, like if you get a new hairstyle or something like that. but otherwise, pre-create all that stuff. Pre-send it. Have it all there so that you can just get it going. And that way you can work efficiently and again stay virtual.
Nice.
Love it.
Last one, Megan.
All right, last one. Get creative, and that just means all y'all
All y'all.
All y'all.
yonder.
Yeah,
Way
that is
yonder.
definitely a word. Y'all.
Way over. Wait.
What?
Way up yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
yonder.
Yes.
I know my country.
What is happening? Okay, get creative. Everybody has their own thing. You guys are lovely in all your own ways. Get creative and communicate with people in a way that makes them feel loved in your way. Get creative. Go get them, Tiger.
All right, let's wrap up the lightning round. That was fantastic. Nicely done, everybody. And we're going to wrap up the episode. That's the end.
Let's do
So
it. You did it.
we want to hear from you. Email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. Check out the Boom Circle or get on the wait list at theboomcircle.com. And we will see all y'all yonder. I don't know how to work any other
good.
words.
Way up yonder on the Boom Podcast.
Oh, that was nice.
We'll do
All
a
right.
dinker.
See you in the next episode, everybody.